Do you know the difference between a boundary and an ultimatum? Well, let's dive in. Hello, I'm Francesca, love dating and relationships coach, and thank you for visiting my channel. So, true story. I was traveling recently and I was in the airport, and there was a young gentleman having a conversation on the phone. It was obviously a personal conversation. It got louder and louder and louder, much to the unease of everybody at the gate. But what caught my attention was the tone and then the words. And so he said something, and when he said it, I was like, that's not quite right. So, first of all, hot tips. First hot tip: don't have personal conversations in public that are especially contentious and loud. Just, for your own health and safety and for those around you. And hot tip number 2, I know a lot of people would disagree with this, but if you don't have the tools and techniques to be able to remain calm during a conversation that is emotional, it is okay to state, I'm too upset to continue with this conversation right now. Can we continue this later? Can we put a pin in it? Because what you don't want to do is continue in a conversation where you are emotional, the other person is emotional, neither one of you is listening. You're not really communicating at all. You're really just raising your voices at each other, and nothing is going to get accomplished except hurt feelings, or worse. You're going to say things that you really regret or do something that you regret. So 2 hot tips for that. That's a whole other sidebar. So back to this conversation. So this conversation got very heated, and this young gentleman stated, you have to listen to me. If you in a relationship with me, you have to listen to me. This is a boundary. And so that's what caught my attention, because that's not a boundary, that's an ultimatum. So what's the difference? So I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. A boundary is basically an expectation that you communicate with your partner. It's about like what you need or your expectations, and you're simply stating what it is you need and what it is you expect. And they have a choice. They're either going to respect it or they're not. I imagine if you continue in the relationship, they're respecting it. Now, an ultimatum is where there is no choice. You're telling them that they have to do something. So when this young gentleman said that you have to blah, 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 this is a boundary, no, that was actually an ultimatum. And with an ultimatum, there's usually a punitive, the consequence is already stated. If you do this or don't do this, depending on the situation, this is a consequence. And so the consequence is already stated. And if you give an ultimatum, you have to be willing to then follow through. If there's no follow through, then it's just an empty threat. It's controlling, it's manipulative, and none of that is healthy. Ultimatums generally don't just come out of thin air. Most of the times in relationship, when they come up, it's usually because a boundary has been violated several times. And so when setting boundaries, if the person chooses to not, adhere to said boundary because they have a choice, then you also then have a choice as to what to do about it. And then it may come to an ultimatum or the end of the relationship, depending on the severity of said boundary. So I hope that this insight was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you would like more details, I would be more than happy to go into depth. Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to click subscribe. I deeply appreciate it. share with your friends, your loved ones, whomever. Spread the love vibes around the globe. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.